Hello, everybody, and welcome to RSF1 Tier 1 division for the Belgian Grand Prix. It's round number 13 of the season. If you have stayed until we got live again, thank you very, very much. The transition was quite smooth. It did take, I think it was about 10 minutes, so thank you very much for everybody who helped us with that. And that includes RSF1 Shane, Unity Hush, Shrimper, that set the lobby, as well as Camo in there. But I'm RSF1 Bundle. I'm with Primus. Take number 2, I guess. And Zizou readied up again.
Yeah.
For the second time.
So we're going to have to get cracking on. So we'll go over the formation map again. I'll do that once again. So starting in 19th place is Darren in the Ferrari with Mex Zizou in 18th place. Oh, hang on. Yep, Mex Zizou in 18th place with Ajax in 17th, Shrimp at 16th, Verstappen 15th, and then you've got Smokey McBates in 14th place, Marta Krog in 13th place, Mex Cypher in 12th place, Bamba Viking in 11th, RSR Clays in 10th, The Devil in 9th, Gary in 8th, Vettel's SF1 in 7th, Mr. Pigeon Munch is in 6th, Ozza is in 5th, Unity Hush in 4th, Vettel Fan in 3rd, and I Dyslexic is in 2nd. And then on provisional pole for the, well, not provisional pole, on pole on the start of the race is St. John. Sorry if I seemed like a little bit of haste there. I was trying to get the stream back up on my phone because I needed to try and get it back. But anyways, we're back again after a race restart, and to let all the fans know that we have rules in if a incident happens, we have to do a restart depending on the severity. So that included 5 cars on that one, so we called it.
Yes, it is in the race rules. Anybody that is in the league itself, it's on racingSeriesF1.wixsite.com. I personally, I'll hold my hand up. I haven't seen this rule, but I did check it. It is there. Obviously, reason why people are confused, Primus, we've never done this before, which is obviously a great thing for the league, and it's one of those freak accidents. Obviously, the way I saw it, I think Ozza was spinning sideways through Radion and Eau Rouge, and obviously the midfield pack could not avoid. But we're here for the second part of this race. And just to clarify, we are clarifying this extra rule that if we do have another incident in this second take, there is a potential of the race to be suspended, but we are holding on that. Let's hope we can get through this first lap clean.
Go towards that.
No.
But anyways, let's get back to the race. So same old. You keep an eye on the front, I'll keep an eye on the back.
Right, take 2 of this. Let's hope we have a very clean first run as they're all lined up now. And here we go for the lights. And the light's taken a while, but here we go. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th light. And lights out and away they go. John gets a good start, but Vettel Fan is up on the inside. Unity's up to 3rd, trying to go around the outside of La Source. They're all going to get through cleanly. Yes, they are.
Looking good in the back.
Here's the run up through Radion and into Eau Rouge there. Much more cautious this time, which is, thank goodness, almost going single file through there. But we're through, and Unity is side by side with Vettel Fan, with Ozza right behind. And Dyslexic's going to have a look at St. John up on the inside. Down to Lecom. They've got the rest, and there's a Ferrari getting in there as well. Ozza's up to 4th, Unity's in there, but St. John retakes the lead. With Vettel Fan in 3rd, Unity just fights off the attack, and we've all got through very cleanly first lap.
So it looks like we will be carrying on, and it looks like we've had some
no!
Verstappen is down the back. He's made contact with the car. Verstappen's still in it. he can get back in it. So right now, the race is going to be carrying on well. It looks like we managed to get a nice clean run, no retirees into the first lap. So the Belgian Grand Prix can properly now get underway. And I think that's a real relief now. But St. John is holding it up in first place, followed by Dyslexic in second, Vettel Fan third. Battle between Bamber Viking and Smokey McBates. Oh, we lost next Cypher.
Cypher's on. That's on the exit of, on the entrance to Blanchimont. Yeah, he's called out that curb. St. John, actually, the reason why I made a noise was because St. John, his back end stepped out nicely. Cypher probably did the same. Darren's got as well. Where has he gone and all that? That's that's the edge of Blanchimont.
Yeah, Darren lost it down there. Have you noticed, by the way, that Bamber Viking looks like he's lagging really hard?
Yeah, that was mentioned a little bit. Keep an eye on him over the next couple of laps for St. John. He's kept the lead, but Dyslexic's right in the slipstream as they go off through Eau Rouge. And he's going to attack. Look at that speed on the Williams.
Who's really benefited, by the way, Brundle's already cut in, is the Devil, who's made up 2 positions from 9th place after that start. And it looks like Mr. Pigeon Munch has actually suffered a little bit because he's fallen down to 8th place.
Yeah, Ioke spun on the downhill right-hander, which they're going through now. Caused a little bit of congestion in the midfield, and unfortunately for Verstappen, who's already had not the great evening so far, has got a lot of work to do.
But, so the battle is still ongoing. Bamber Viking gets past no, he doesn't. Gary's ahead. Yeah, Bamber is definitely lagging because for a moment there he took 10th place from Bamber and then lagged back behind. Bamber lagged in front of Gary and then back in behind him. So, and it looks like Bamber Viking is actually under pressure by Master Krog in the Red Bull. Just trying to get a little look down the inside. What the heck? Bamber's now ahead of Gary? Now behind. Yeah,
I'm seeing that as well.
It's really heavy lag. Dyslexic, he's going to look down the bus stop chicane on John. St. John, is he going to try and defend? Yes, it looks like Dyslexic can't make the move as of at the moment, but Dyslexic is probably going to try and make the attack down onto the straight, going into La Source. So this is a really good battle. Dyslexic is looking nice and strong. They've all got fresh tyres now because of the restart, so no one's got to worry about starting on worn tyres. DRS is now enabled, going into La Source, onto GP2. Looks like Dyslexic is going down. Will he have the DRS going into the Camel Straight? Up Eau Rouge? Yes, he will. Look at this. Dyslexic has already got a good slipstream on the Haas. John's trying to defend. And Dyslexic, he goes down the inside. Now going into Le Combs. Dyslexic takes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix.
Yeah, simple DRS move, fast the Camel Straight, but I don't think St. John's going to let him go that easy. They're gapping Vettel and Unity a little bit. Obviously, Vettel and Unity on those mediums, so they want to keep these guys in sight. See if Unity can break away. He's got a few car lengths already.
It's definitely already looking really good for the start of the race. Unity Hush is trying his best to catch the Toro Rosso in third place, which will soon be known as AlphaTauri, in the car of Vettel Fan. So Unity is trying his best to get onto the podium position. Meanwhile, St. John and Dyslexic are on the soft compound tyre. They're going to go for a medium tyre finish. Meanwhile, Vettel and Unity want to go for a medium tyre. And also, because of the difference in the tyre grip, Ozza is actually going to get a really good grip into the corners compared to Unity Hush. Ozza's actually already gaining. I think Ozza might be able to make an attack just after the bus stop chicane, because Unity gets a really bad run there through Blanchimont. Here go into the bus stop chicane. Vettel goes deep, and it allows Unity to get closer to Vettel. Meanwhile, Ozza can catch up to the pair and get in the DRS. It doesn't look like he got a bit there, because Unity Hush got a better run there. Oh, and he goes a bit wide. There goes Ozza. Now down to GP2. It looks like St. John is losing time to Dyslexic, who's now managed to stay up in front. Unity Hush is now in the gearbox of the Toro Rosso, but he loses it a little bit going into the hill climb, which is allowing Ozza to get in the DRS around the left-hand side of the Haas car, going past grandstands on the Camel Straight. And it looks like Ozza and Unity Hush are going to fight into the comms. Unity is going to stay there. No, they're still fighting side by side. And then it just looks like Ozza had to back off there. And he's now back behind the Haas. And Vettel managed to just wriggle away after that massive battling.
Yeah, Unity's in some battling. He's not it's not what he needed, because it's giving Vettel just a little bit of a breather with this. But what Ozzy needs to do is he needs to get past these guys in the mediums. But he's got Vettel and Pigeon and Clays and the Devil climbing all over the back of him.
Meanwhile, I did forget to mention that Max Zizou received a 3-second time penalty for receiving multiple warnings on cutting corners and exceeding track limits. That must have been up Eau Rouge, because it's very easy to accidentally exceed the track limit going up it. Here we go. Battle going on again. Yeah, it's going on to the Blanchimont. Sorry about that. Brundle didn't mean to cut into you again.
Sorry.
So,
yeah, St. John is not letting Dyslexic get away up at the front.
Oh, looks like Ozda just went a little bit deep there into the bus stop chicane. He's doing his absolute best to attack Unity Hush, who is also trying to attack Vettel. I think we're going to see a battle for the lead unfold, because John has made up the time that he lost a little bit to Dyslexic. So before we head down to Vettel, Unity and Ozza, we'll have a little look at John and Dyslexic. Dyslexic looks like he's got a bit of a poor run going up the hill. John's got the slipstream. Can John make the move on the camel straight? It looks like he's starting to run out of road. I don't think John can make the move.
He's too far
no,
back.
He can't. He's too far back. Meanwhile, Unity Hush is still trying to get Vettel, but he ran out of road as well. So both the Haas cars are trying to go for their targets, and they're just not close enough to make that move.
Yeah, the problem for Ozza, Vettel, Pigeon and Devil is they're all in traffic. They can't use the effect that the soft tyres have at the start of the race. Because they're obviously quicker than the mediums. So they need to obviously gap the guys in front, but they can't get ahead, and they're all stuck in this DRS train at the moment.
So the battle still goes on, and Vettel is SF1 is actually now starting to catch Ozza in the McLaren. And as you said, the train is building, because right now the battle for fourth place initially, or third, is not too far apart between all of these cars. So between the leader,
Ozza inside Blanchimont.
Oh, he's going for it. Looks like Ozza.
Oh, he's lost it.
Ozza crashes, but he's still able to keep going. That was lucky he didn't fully crash out, otherwise that would have been a very bad time, a very bad day to go off. But Ozza falls down the grid after trying to make the move on Unity Hush. I wonder what happened there.
I think he just clipped the curb on the inside. He's trying to give Unity as much room as he possibly could, but in doing so, he clipped the curb on the inside. Had a car snapped at him, and he then tried to save it, and then snapped back on the other side. And that's happened to me before, and he's gone. But Unity is now going to attack Vettel down the Camel Straight to the con. Is he going to be close enough for the move? I think he is going to go for a lunge at the end of the corner. Vettel gives him the room. Just about stays in front, but all this battling is giving the front to in front, but Unity's not done. Down into the downhill right-hander, still here. Still up on the inside, going side by side. Down to the corner with no name. Vettel still on the inside, they're going side by side still. Just about Iox has gone.
It's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car has been deployed after Iox has gone off.
Where was Iox in that? Might have been managed to catch it, but this they're not. Oh, that was Vettel had to slam down on the brakes for the Delta. This is the problem. The virtual, everyone's on different Deltas, and it's complicating
all of the
things.
cars behind Vettel are so close that once the virtual safety car peels in, the battle will continue. Unity Hush actually got a shove there from Pigeon Munch. Unity Hush could get a penalty if he doesn't give the position back to Vettel, because I don't think Unity Hush got ahead of Vettel when the virtual safety car happened.
But he's got it. I don't think the game's giving it to him, but Vettel's going to have a go back. Through blonde
Yeah,
one.
Unity Hush let him have that back, because I know Unity Hush would have fought for that, because it looks like Unity got pushed in the back by a Alfa Romeo, which forced him up. Bamba Viking has received a 3-second time penalty, and we've got a nice helicopter shot of the battle for third place, and it looks like Vettel is actually going to get challenged down the outside. Verstappen is out of the session. Going down GP2, it's going to be a multiple car battle, because Unity Hush is going to try and get past the Alfa Romeo of Vettel. We've lost Vettel SF1 as well. We've lost the other racing point in the session. So Unity Hush is going to continue to go and try and move down the Camel Straight. We're going to see a 3-wide battle on the Camel Straight between the three cars. Unity Hush moves up in front, and Vettel spins! The fan makes contact down the inside on the Haas car, and he loses it. And now it looks like Unity Hush is into third. Meanwhile, Pigeon Munch, Devil, and Clays continue to fight Unity up in front.
Interesting. I think that might be a talking point after the race, Primus, but again, they're just trying to give each other the room like they did last week in Hungary, only this time it's all ending in tears. What it has done is it's given the front two a near 10-second gap, all this fight in here.
I think you've got the oh yeah, a 10-second gap. Sorry about that. I had my thing on the wrong bit. Never mind. So meanwhile,
10 seconds these two have.
Dyslexic's going in.
Dyslexic's in.
I think in the midst of all that chaos, everyone's just not too sure what's going on, because we've already lost the 5 cars again, but it's beyond that one, so no restart. But Falcon Legends was correct. Not quite enough space. Hello Spiral, and I know you were making a joke about, because me and Spiral were doing a practice session. Meanwhile, Master Frog, he's done really well. He's pushed his way up to 5th place. If he can try and make up some good time and get onto the soft compound tyre, we could see something. And Smokey McBase is out of the session as well.
Oh, they're dropping like flies. Down to 13.
We had 19 cars when we began this race. It was, and no, Man with the Cash has a good point. When there was contact there between Unity Hush and Vettel Fan, it was 3 wide. Unity Hush had nowhere to go because he had an Alpha on him on one side, and he had the Toro Rosso going down the in. There was just nothing Unity could do. And then the contact between the two, it was just going to happen one way or another. But currently right now, it's a Haas 1-2 for the opening stages of the race. We're nearly at the half-point area. Unity Hush is still 11 seconds off of John in first in the soft compound tyre. Meanwhile, the Devil in the Ferrari, we've got a Ferrari battling, well, Ferrari versus Ferrari provided cars. It's a battle up at the top. Can the Devil put the pressure on Unity Hush? Because do keep in mind, I have a feeling these soft compound tyres are going to struggle with the amount of laps they can do. Because everyone's gone on to hards or mediums.
They jump hits.
And I think Bamba Viking's desynced. Because, no, he's not. He's still lagging. Unity Hush, Dyslexic is trying to make a move on the very sketchy Toro Rosso, but it just doesn't know where to make the move. And, John has pitted.
John and the Devil.
Devil as well. Oh, there's contact! As it looks like the Bamba Viking got touched down the back by Dyslexic.
Oh, St. John's come out and all this.
Bamba gets out in front of John. It's going to be a side-by-side battle between Dyslexic and John going up by Rouge. And look, that Dyslexic stays up ahead, and he's still continuing to challenge Bamba Viking and gets a 3-second time penalty. Look at that, Bamba's backing so much, I can't even tell when the move is going to happen.
Right, we're going to... Can you message about Bambo? Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't even know whether that's happening on the screen.
I can't even tell what's happened, because right now Bamba's fallen down to 6th, and just seconds ago he was in front of Dyslexic. Meanwhile, Krog's on a really good race, because Krog is now up in 3rd place. RSR place, second in the Mercedes, and Unity Hush up in first place on the medium compound tyre. And I think the car that's benefited the most from these stops is Dyslexic, because now Dyslexic could actually stay on these tyres to the end.
Yeah, he did a very good move past St. John through Radion into Row Rouge, but the downside was he got a time penalty for that. So that might come back to haunt him unless John gets one himself.
So it's still going on really well. Dyslexic is actually gaining on Master Krog in the Red Bull. We're going to see a battle between these two. Krog goes a little bit wide going on Blanchimard. Krog then breaks a little bit early going into the bus stop chicane, but Dyslexic makes a move down the inside. They touch wheels. They're still side by side through the bus stop chicane. Meanwhile, John, they touch wheels again. They're fighting like crazy, but Dyslexic pulls back and John moves down the outside into the source. Krog can't do anything to defend there.
St. John does the pair of them. He goes around the outside of Dyslexic. Don't do that again.
The touch of wheels down the outside into GP2. Goes Dyslexic on Master Krog. What a move! That's a Mark Webber versus Fernando Alonso move. What a move from Dyslexic. That was beautiful.
He's trying to go at John as well.
And he's on the grass. And John squeezes Dyslexic onto the grass, and Krog retaliates. Krog is now down the inside. It touches a little bit again with the Williams, but luckily it's still more clean. Look at that! The battle's close! But John, the one who comes out on top, he's on fresher tyres, and Bamber just lags down the outside next to Krog for just a split second and ends up back behind him. I have no idea what's going on with Bamber, I have to say. But this is definitely really, really nail-biting racing.
Yeah, can you message Bamber if you can, to see, because he's going to have to leave with that if it's that bad on the driver's screen as well.
Vettel fan has received a 3-second time penalty for receiving multiple warnings. So the battle is still close. Unity Hush is actually opening the gap a little bit between him and RSR Clays. But the thing is Clays is losing time to John. So the battle between Williams and Haas is still going to be strong, because if Dyslexic isn't fighting Unity Hush, he is fighting John. We've got a yellow flag in the third sector. It's Ozza. Ozza's lost it again.
Ozza's not having a good one, is he? Struggled to score points. He did have the pace earlier on. See,
poor Ozza.
Seems to me that the win, because of the gap that John and Dyslexic have, I mean the win is between them two, is who's going to be on the final step of the podium. Unity, I think, is holding on to that because he's the highest of those that have yet to stop. But anything can happen in this race. And we were saying about this track, it can bite you back. It's we've got 13 runners left, and it's showing it.
Let's not rule Dyslexic out, because he's actually gaining still on John. He's staying within good time. He's preserving the ERS, and he's utilising the fact that he's still close in DRS. I think John is just struggling a little bit for grip. Vettel SF71, we would have races earlier, but the restart was called. That is not anyone's fault. The restart had to happen. Yes, fair enough, the races could have been done earlier, but the restart has an effect on that.
Vettel
retired because Vettel had to go because it was going to be a late finish, and his parents were going to sleep.
Oh.
So he couldn't actually stay, but unfortunately Vettel, because of the restart, it did have to go on a little bit late. But either that, or we could be completely disobeying the rules.
Yeah.
And if we disobey the rules, then we have, then there's literally no point in even doing anything, because all these people put in hard work to make the rules. We have to follow them. As much as I do agree with you that it should have been done, should have had that early. Look at the shrimp is challenging Bamber, but I can't tell when the move's happening.
Yeah.
We've got a yellow flag in the second sector. It's Ozza again in the second sector. Ozza's lost all of his front wing.
Moving back to worse this race. Clay's on a time penalty himself.
He has a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah. We got Unity Unity and Clay's yet to pit up at the front. They're trying to take these mediums long enough to for a soft stint as Shrimper's finally got the move past Bamba. Shrimper's actually on hard tyres from the start. I wonder if he could take those to the end.
I think Shrimper might be challenging for a potential podium because on 1, 2, 3 cars, he was amongst. Did he? Has he pitted? Yeah, he did pit, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he pitted one of the first laps.
No, he hasn't. No, he started on that tyre.
11 laps. Oh yeah, he started on that. Okay.
I thought he was on the. I thought he just pitted onto the hard pot compound tyre at the beginning of the race because that's.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's interesting. Meanwhile, Dyslectic is catching up to John, who actually has caught up to RSR Clays. And Clays try and defend from the upcoming Haas, and can Clays actually hold off John to the point where Dyslexic could maybe come in for another round?
Yeah, potentially. I don't think John has a penalty, but Dyslexic has at the moment, so it's all in John's hands to lose. If he gets one. Unity is in the pits, and that's how much the gap is.
John's got 2 warnings.
Ah, okay. Okay, that's how much the gap is. Unity is behind as he goes onto the soft tyre. He's almost a full pit stop behind. But here comes John to retake the lead on Clays. To go through Radion and up through the top row Rouge. Clays doesn't get a very good run, but of course it's on those warm medium tyres. Dyslexic is behind, but he's nowhere near close enough, so here John's opportunity to get a car in between him and Dyslexic, and he does. Past the Kimmel Straight, easily done. Into the lead once again. So
now John can start building a lead, because even though Unity Hush is on the soft compound tyre, and look at that, Clays! What happened there? Clays just jumped out of the way. I think Clays is at that point where he knows there's no point holding up a faster car. I mean, I know the car that was behind him was Dyslectic, but I have a feeling, he's just like, I've got my own race to do. I know you two are going to get past me eventually. I need to have my fight of Krog. Because do keep in mind, Krog is 3 seconds behind, well, 3.2 seconds behind Clays.
Yep. Unity came out in 9th place on soft tyres. He's going to be absolutely flying from now to the end, one would think. And he's catching up onto the Devil, which is his first target.
I think he might have hit it a bit too early. I know the soft compound tyre can do 8 laps or so, but adding the final lap, that's a good 9 laps or so. Can he preserve those softs as well as trying to make up the positions? Because, I mean, RSR
the speed he's got.
So Shrimper, Viking, Krog and Clay do have to pit. And he makes a move down the inside and Blanchimont on the Devil, but the Devil gets onto the racing line and defends amazingly. There's good work there from the Ferrari. Do keep in mind both Hush and John are on 2 warnings, 1 wrong move, and they've got a penalty. So the battle happens. A few cars have pitted. Amber, Clays and Krog have pitted, like I said. Unity and Devil moved up into 5th and 6th place. And Vettel fan has retired from the session. I think Vettel crashed in the pits.
Oh, he's done a Craig Senna. He's done what Craig Senna did.
Oh, Rouge, look at the run Unity Hush has got on the Ferrari. They're moving down the Camel Straight. The Devil was trying to get back into the slipstream, but with the assistance of DRS, Unity Hush is just flying away. And Unity Hush moves up into 5th place, and now he's got Mr. Pigeon Munch, his real contender. John's got that 3-second time penalty. I said it.
Equal playing field now at the front between Dyslexic and John. We're now...
Shrimper has to pit, but Pigeon Munch already has. Pigeon could go to the end of these tyres.
Yeah, Pigeon looks good for 3rd place at the moment, but he's going to have Unity closing him down on no softs.
So that is not very good there for John, because his little advantage over Dyslexic, all he just had to do was finish ahead, and because he exceeded the track limit, poor John has given himself a 3-second time penalty, which now the battle goes on. RSR Clays a span in the second sector. Krog moves up into 9th.
P1 very easily to do.
Ozza gets fastest lap of the race with a 1:46.1. That's a decent lap actually in the race of all times.
Yeah.
Element Snow said, "Did your mic cut out?" No, I'm pretty sure you can still hear me.
Wait, which one? Did you talk about me or you?
No, he said Primus. Did your mic cut out? Or he said Mitz, which I have a feeling he said Mike. Unity Hush gets the fastest lap of the race. Very good lap. Max Zizou goes into the pits after doing 13 laps on the medium compound tyre after being caught in an incident, I think, near the beginning of the race, because I think he's already stopped. No, he hasn't, actually. He's been on that tyre for a while. He hasn't stopped. This is his first pit stop. He's actually got to stop and go. So he'll be serving that now, going on to the softs to try and fight for some good positions.
Yep. Right, so where we're at now, so
gaining on John.
Yeah. I think he's probably been told by his engineer, because a lot of these guys now have engineers in RSF1. I engineer someone as well from last week. I engineer Moronics in F3. It seems to be the thing at the moment. He's probably been told that John's got a penalty. It's now even playing field. And I noticed with the ARS, Dyslexic's up to 60% and John's at 32, and that's not a very good position. And I would know, because EOS is just eaten at this track. Once you win a low move, as yellow flag is set to 2, I think Gary's had a mistake.
No, it's someone. Yeah, it is Gary. Yeah, Gary had a little mistake.
It's Gary. He's got front wing.
Yeah, he's lost a part of his front wing. He's lost the end point. Could that be contact with Master Krog, maybe? Because Krog did get by him. I don't know if there was contact between the two. I didn't get to see. Blaze moves past the wounded Renault. Meanwhile, Master Krog's in 7th place. He's actually looking pretty quick, and he's on the charge to catch the devil.
Dyslexic's on the back of John. I think he's close enough for a move. Krog with the fastest lap, but here comes...
He's not going to be able to do it.
He's not gaining.
He's getting a look, but he just can't do it. He's just ran out of road. So now it's just a matter of sticking with John and maybe trying to take him on Blanchimont or on GP2 and the Camel Straight on the next lap. Let's keep an eye on these two. I definitely feel Dyslexic is a real good contender to battle with the Haas cars, because, you know, he fights with Unity Hush all the time, and now, you know, John moving up instead of Unity. So it just shows that both the Haas drivers just have that real good ability to fight the likes of Dyslexic.
Yep, Unity has just moved his way past Mr. Pigeon. He done so through Lecom, so he's now in third place. Unity.
Dyslexic almost loses the rear end of the car. Shrimper, however, yeah, as you said, Shrimper's in 3rd. Pigeon Munch did get taken by Unity Hush. But Dyslexic, unfortunately, just lost a bit of time. Let's keep an eye on him. There we go, going into the bus stop chicane. Dyslexic, now he gets a DRS. Oh, God. Need to clear my throat. As they're going to go down GP2, Mr. Pigeon Munch has received a 3-second time penalty. Shrimper pits, which is going to put Unity Hush into the podium. Unity Hush needs to catch Dyslexic and John to take advantage of the penalties that they're both suffering with. Look at the speed that Dyslexic is gaining on John. Maybe he could make the move. It doesn't look like it.
Too far back.
Master Krog is in 6th place. And he's cutting down the time between him and the devil. John catches a bit of the grass. And this is allowing Dyslexic to cut that time down. This is so close, Brundle. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, look at John's ERS. It's struggling at the moment. It's down to 25%, whereas Dyslexic is just biding his time. It's nearly on 70%.
I think the fact is
time.
Dyslexic is playing the pressure game right now. You know, he's got the battery to make the attack. And meanwhile, John's using everything he has to try and stay ahead. But eventually, it might go bad for him, because I think Dyslexic is getting some better runs out these next couple of corners. And it's going to allow him to make the push. Might be able to make the move on Blanchimont. He's actually gaining quite a lot. He's not activated the ERS though, so I don't think he's willing to make the move.
No, he's waiting.
Meanwhile,
he's waiting until
John's turned his up. John's using up more of his battery to defend when Dyslexic's nowhere near him. And here
I
you
think
go.
this is Dyslexic. If he can get a good run out of the source.
It could help Dyslexic secure the win. John is doing his best to keep that Williams behind him. I know Unity Hush is now going to try and preserve those softs because he's under pressure from Mr. Pigeon Munch. But Pigeon Munch has that penalty. Going up into Eau Rouge. Dyslexic struggles, but he gets the run. We might be able to see the move being made. We got yellow flags in the first sector. I don't know what's happened. It might have been Ozzer again. And he does it. Dyslexic takes the lead. And John is all over the back of him. You know, he's just like, oh no, I'm not having that. I'm coming back. I want my first place back. But look at that. Dyslexic's just got that overall more battery power. Because John, he's got 22%, and Dyslexic's got 70.
Yeah, the problem is for John at the moment is that once you're in that very low amount, as Gary sets the fastest lap, but he's outside the top 10 as John was sideways with Buon. Once you're in that low amount, it's very, very difficult to get it back. And that's the problem he has. But as long as he sticks with Dyslexic, he can attack back, same as what Dyslexic did. And I'll tell you something, Primus. I believe both of these two are fighting for their very first F1 win.
I know Dyslexic has had a couple of podiums, but I don't know if he's actually has been on the top spot.
He's not won.
He's going to fight for that like
won.
crazy.
Neither is John.
But look at John. John is still keeping up because he's got the slipstream, and he's now going to have the assisted DRS. He may not have DRS. John has another penalty.
That's a 5 second. Went straight over the curb.
That is not done John any favours. That might have just secured Dyslexic the win for the race, and he goes deep into the source. So John has 8 seconds worth of penalties right now. If Unity Hush can get within 2 seconds more time on his teammate, Unity Hush will get second place.
I think the pendulum has swung into Dyslexic's favour. All Dyslexic has to do is just be calm about this and don't push. John is still pushing because... And his fuel has come up as well with 3 laps to go.
He is pushing.
As Dyslexic, no.
Tom, first the best. Yes, Dyslexic has a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, but John has 8. So... That's the advantage between Dyslexic has.
Bamba Viking and Krog's happening as Bamba manages to make the move in the comms and gets ahead of Master Krog.
Nicely done.
Meanwhile, John is still over the gearbox of the Williams. Ozzer has received a 3-second time penalty after receiving multiple warnings. So a load of cars did finish today, Bundle. 19 started. Currently at the moment.
John's going to have going into the bus stop.
He's going to look down the outside. Looks like Dyslexic's going to defend going in. They touch a little bit, but it looks like he's... And he touches him again! John makes contact with Dyslexic. That didn't really work out. Ozzer's gone off again into the... into Blanchemont. Ozzer has received a 10-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits. Here we go, going
John
into the Camel Straight. John has got, look at that run that has got. He's going to look down the side of Dyslexic. He's got the DRS, but Dyslexic's got a barrier. And John touched him! John almost span him out. John turned into Dyslexic going up the straight. That was very, very dangerous there, because that could have ended Dyslexic's race.
I don't know. As Pigeon has got past Unity. Pigeon's got back past Unity for third.
I agree with Camo in the chat there. This is going to end in tears because John does not want to give this up. He even touched Dyslexic, and John's losing it. John is John's feeling the pressure. He wants to win. He's making the attacks, but he's struggling to defend. Dyslexic is still continuing to push. And they're gonna, these guys are gonna butt heads again. These two have been on each other from start to finish.
It's still Dyslexic's advantage. I feel John moving across into Blanchimont. He's fine to do that, but
Tom, the best actually is correct.
Really
this will benefit is whoever's in P3. Pigeon Lunch gets ahead of Uni Hush. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he did in the last lap or so, but Unity is still with him. Unity's going to try to go on the outside into Boss Stop and now breaks him. What a move from Unity.
That was a brilliant move. But the battle up front goes again. We've got 2 laps to go of the race. Unity Hush is in 3rd. Dyslexic 2nd. John 1st. And John is losing time to that Williams. Dyslexic is just getting an amazing run up the hill. John's going to try and defend. Going down the left-hand side goes Dyslexic. He gets an amazing run on John. John had no way of countering back because he just didn't have the assistance of DRS. He's running out of fuel. John only has one chance to try and make the move again onto Blanchimont or onto the straight on the next and final lap. So currently, as it goes, Dyslexic retakes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix.
Remember, this is still in Dyslexic's advantage because that 5-second penalty that St. John has. The St. John is just fighting tooth and nail. I get what John is trying to do. He's trying to put Dyslexic under pressure so Dyslexic gets a penalty himself. Or he was trying to overtake and then get the gap. Yeah, they both want this win, Primus. You can definitely see that.
They both really want it, but it looks like Dyslexic is now starting to open the gap between him and John. John's not got much fuel and battery to really catch Dyslexic. Meanwhile, Dyslexic has the fuel, and he's got what's left of his batteries after trying to attack him and get the position. I think, by the looks of it, unless John can try and catch up, it might look like it's in Dyslexic's hands, but Shrimper gets a 3-second time penalty. John gets within the DRS, so as long as John gets some good runs, but he's just got no fuel. Oz is retired from the session. Oz is out.
I think that's a manual retirement. Not been the race for Ozza.
I'll check Ozza, the race director. I think he did retire under his own power.
Yeah, it's not been a good race for Ozza, but he'll bounce back. But Dyslexic has enough of a gap on the Camel Straight.
Damage. He did crash.
Oh no! Oh, here comes Pigeon. This is for 3rd place. Pigeon on the end of the Camel Straight to Lacombe. Takes the inside of Unity. Can he get the move done? I think he did. Yes, he did.
Wow, what a move by Pigeon!
And this battle here for 3rd place is carrying on from Hungary. These two locked horns. And Unity got the upper hand last week and Pigeon returned the favour.
John is still making the push to try and catch Dyslexic, but Dyslexic is just getting too far ahead. And Toby is correct. It's coming home as Dyslexic is now nearing Blanchimont for the last time of the track. They both got their fuel lights on, but I think Dyslexic still has the upper hand in fuel because John's had his fuel light on for the past couple of laps. So as it stands, we'll keep on board with Dyslexic now. He's now going through Blanchimont now at the end of the straight into the bus stop chicane.
Oh! John is gone!
John's gone! John's crashed!
John's retired!
That has ended in tears, definitely, for John. Dyslexic wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Pigeon Lunch finishes 2nd place. Meanwhile, Unity Hush, if Pigeon Lunch's penalties are there, Unity Hush gets 2nd place.
Get second.
And can the Devil get his first podium on Pigeon Lunch? No, he can't.
No,
Pigeon Lunch stays 3rd. So, what happened to John? John crashed. John crashed on Blanchimont after losing it to Dyslexic. And I think he might have caught the curb and went off.
Yeah, I think he
I didn't
did.
get to see what happened because we was on board with Dyslexic, and then suddenly we had a yellow flag in the third sector. Meanwhile, Max Zizou is down the inside. On Gary, they make contact on the very last corner. Gary manages to stay 9th place. Max Zizou 10th. So as it stands, they get their points. God, what a race!
Jesus.
Right, I'll get the lads in. What a race by Dyslexic. A very good win there. That's his first win. So well done to Dyslexic. I'll get Unity Hush and Mr. Pigeon Munch in as well.
You know, I can sum up this race in one word.
Confusing.
Rough.
That's
Rough.
By the way, driver of the day. We didn't even discuss driver of the day because the battle between John and Dyslexic carried on. So before we begin, I have to say, from looking at Raw performance today, I mean, from 13th to 5th, Master Krog's a real contender. The Devil as well, from 9th to 4th.
I want to put a shout out to Devil because that's his first race.
That was his first race.
And finishing in 4th.
Actually, I've got to give it to the Devil because he got into went from 9th to 4th and he was penalty free. So I'm going to have to say the driver of the day goes to the Devil. It would have been close, but Krog had a penalty, so, you know, that was a bit close. But anyways, lads, can you please all tick the audio box in the party so we can include your audio? So please let me know when you've done that. Brundle,
yes.
How do you want to do the interviews?
Me Pigeon, you Unity, me Dyslexic.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. That was a rough race. Very rough race. It was rough getting here. It was rough in the races. Good battling. All throughout there, but we head to our third place guy is Mr. Pigeon Munch, and on the last lap we saw you were battling with Unity, same as what you were doing in Hungary. It seems like a magnet between you two at the moment. You got it on track, but unfortunately a penalty meant that Unity finished ahead of you today, but definitely showed you can battle with the front, and your championship, which has had a slow start, I guess it's fair to say, but is picking right up now with some good solid results. So talk us through third place for yourself. Good stuff, I guess.
No, I'm not happy, to be honest. I don't know what the hell happened under that virtual safety car. I lost 8 seconds because Vettel fan and Unity were, God knows what they were doing. They just stopped on track. I lost 8 seconds. I went through the whole race warning free, and I literally put the first apex of the last chicane by about a centimetre, and it gave me a 5-second penalty. So I've flipped that, and I expect that to be removed. So yeah, not particularly happy. I should have been right at the front. I don't know what the Fan and Unity were doing. It looked like they were saying, you know, you go through, no, you go through. And I was the one that got screwed over by it. So
yeah, might have been the delta. Obviously, if their delta is different, obviously I've seen it before, where if your delta is very in the red, you obviously have to keep it, and obviously it's a weird under a virtual safety car. I don't think it's proper, but yeah, if obviously that affected you wasn't very good, but yeah, talk us through that battle with Unity on the last lap, because as I said, you got him on track. Was that a little bit obviously he got you on that penalty, but obviously it was been removed. But do you feel you got one back over him from last week?
A little. I knew I had the advantage, to be honest. I guess I should thank RSF1 Roberts, because on Sunday he clearly showed me which was the fastest strategy, so I went for that. And when I saw Unity was so fast, obviously at the start on his soft stint, I knew for a fact they'd drop off and I'd have the faster tyres at the end. And it was my plan, to be honest, all along, to be behind him going on to the last lap. Again, That's the ERS behind.
Um, Sorry to cut in there, Pigeon. Got news on what happened there with Unity Hush and Vettel. So Vettel and Unity were side by side, sort of going into the virtual safety car, and the game had prompted that Vettel had done an illegal overtake on Unity Hush, which he was slowing down to surrender the position to Unity. But also, because it was confusing because they were side by side when this virtual safety car turned on. The game basically couldn't tell who should have been in front because, as you know, the fact that they were both nearly like touching wheels together when it turned on, no one knew who to go in front. So they both got told, because as soon as the virtual safety car ended, Unity immediately surrendered the position to Vettel. And then after the virtual safety car started, Vettel did get told that he illegally overtook. So it was just a complete game error there, I'm afraid.
I mean, I don't know what it said on Unity's screen. If it said let Vettel fan through, then obviously that's a game problem. But if it didn't, then he should have gone earlier. But
well, that'll be looked into after the stream. Dyslexic, not dyslexic. Brundle, is there anything you'd like to ask Pigeon before we move on to Unity?
No, all is good. All is good. As I said, it does seem that your season is coming together. You're now fighting at the front, which is good to see. Hopefully, it continues moving on to Monza and onwards.
yes.
Right, so Unity Hush. So it was almost looking like that. Oh, we've lost Pigeon. I was going to ask him some more questions at the end, going into the next race, but it's clear that Pigeon's clearly not happy, so we'll let him cool down. Unity Hush. So it has been a bit of a bumpy race. For the most part, you was fighting with Vettel fan in the beginning parts of the race, and then you was also fighting with the likes of Mr. Pigeon at the end there, and as you can hear, he just wasn't happy over the results that happened during the race. But tell us how you felt your race was today.
Disaster, to be honest. I just didn't have the pace. Now that VSC incident, it told me to let Vettel through, so I did that. Then went past back in, told him to let him through again, so I didn't know what to do. Then I lost 10 seconds to the front runners, so I could have won today, but the game screwed me over.
Yeah, it's unfortunate events because, as I said to Pigeon before he left, that both you and Vettel were side by side when that VSC activated. So it basically was not deciding who should have been in front because every time Vettel got past you, he got given a warning to let you go by. And then when you went by, it told you that was an illegal move. The game had no idea what it was doing. So, it was a very unfortunate turn of events because that probably did cost you the win today.
Yeah, it really did. I was so good.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel. You're still leading the championship. I mean, second place after a bit of a bumpy start to the race and, that problem with the VSC. But you're still second place. It still extends your points in the championship. Your teammate almost stood on top here with you today, but crashed nearly on the very last corner. He crashed on Blanchimont, which means only one Haas scores points today. John was gone. And then, but also, you'll be happy to know when you do watch the stream back that you have received a load of support from everyone in the league because I've heard the news as well regarding to what happened to your aunt at the beginning of the season. And I know you'll be racing for her as I race for my dad, sort of thing. And I'm wishing you all the best as well, and also my condolences because I only just found out today. So you did a top job today, mate. You did the best that you could given what happened in the race and the support you received. It's something to take home.
I'm tearing up right now.
Well, you did good, mate. You did very, very well. Obviously, you'll be able to challenge for the win again next week in Monza. We've got Italy coming up, the last of the European tracks. So I know you'll try and bounce back to fight for the win then.
Definitely.
So Brundle, if you've got anything to ask Unity before we move on to you and Dyslexic.
No, all is good. Basically, same as what Primus said. Yeah, extend championship leads. I think over Gary and Ozza because they had a race. They both had a race to forget tonight, but might have a new challenger. But yeah, so far so good for yourself. But as you said, there's still a bit of way to go. So all the best to you. But we go to our race winner tonight, who takes his very first F1 victory, and that is Dyslexic. I can't believe I'm saying these words because I remember, what was it, the race of Baku, in which you beat me by a couple of hundredths in that qualifying session, and now here you are.
You still beat me on track
in the F1. Yeah, I did. But here you are taking your very first F1 victory, and you had to work for that because St. John in the Haas definitely worked for you. I think he was fighting for his first victory of the season too.
Yeah, I think
so.
We both wanted it.
Yeah, both of you wanted it. That was clear to see. Got a little bit rough sometimes, a bit of wheel touching, but rubbing is racing sometimes. And a couple of people were saying, "Oh, I hope it doesn't end in tears." Fortunately, it didn't for yourself. It did for John, unfortunately, in the last lap. But how does it feel? First race victory. It has been coming though.
To be honest, I actually couldn't have won it without my teammates. Start with RSF1 Verstappen because he just gave me some insights in the race stuff. He was watching over because he sadly crashed out. I think just made a mistake. But he looked really quick as well, so it was a shame for him. But yeah, it was a straight battle all the way through. I mean, I went for the undercut and then I had Bamber lagging around quite a bit, and that gave me my 3-second time penalty. Trying to avoid him. But I think John then got a 3-second time penalty, and then my teammate told me that he got a 5-second somewhere. So I was like, well, I don't need to fight too much, but at the same time, I really wanted to win on track. So I just drained all of his ERS and just sat there for like 4 laps, to be honest.
Yeah, I noticed you were.
I just can't really believe it.
Yeah, I noticed you were biding your time with the ERS. Obviously, he went for the aggressive start, and as obviously I found out on Sunday in F2, once you're in that low ERS mode under like 30%, it's very difficult to bring it back, and that left him on the back foot. It was on the ropes for you. He got the 5-second off the last chicane, very same as Pigeon. So
yeah, I had no idea.
Him.
No idea what happened. I don't know what happened at the end either, where he went off. Wasn't looking behind me.
Yeah, I caught the end of it. Bit of
I
a
just
weird
touched the
one,
curb.
but yeah. Similar with the
But
others.
to be fair, he put on a really good battle, so shout out to John. We were battling all the way through, and it did get scruffy at times, but you know, we didn't crash off. It was racing, Robin's racing, so.
Got me tense a couple of times, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it did for me as well.
But obviously what this win does for your championship, you were, I think, joint on 5th place for somebody. I can't think
I think joint 4th for John.
Yes, so obviously you move ahead of John, and because of Gary and Oz's race to forget, you might be overtaking them if my maths are correct. So you're now effectively the new challenger for Unity. What do you think about that? Do you think you can take the challenge to Unity for the rest of this season?
Well, I'm definitely going to take the challenge to him. He's not going to be sleeping on any of these races, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know if catching Unity is going to be a hard one, because obviously he's always finishing well, even when he has bad qualifying or anything. So fair play to Unity, man. I think, however it ends out at the end of the championship, I mean, just amazing job you've done all season, man. So if I'm going to try and catch, but it's going to be a hard one, really hard one.
Yeah, but the next chapter in this story, and it definitely has been a story, it's a privilege to be a part of now. But our next chapter is going to be Monza, the Festival of Speed. For the next track, Dyslexic, what do you think going forward for this track? Obviously quite different to
Yeah, I
Belgium, not
think,
many corners. It's all about straight line speed and track limits. So
Yeah,
what are your thoughts going
I've
forward?
actually done some testing, and I'm quite excited to do it. To be honest, that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. What about you, Unity? Monza next for you.
Not looking forward to it. Just not.
Okay, not gonna give away why, or just leave it.
Qualifying. He-Wood's going to get the slipstream, so that's where I'm going to go downhill.
Yeah, might be the slipstream battle in qualifying, which we'll see for Monza, but that will be next week. But wow, rough race, Primus, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Rough getting to this point. It was rough going through it. This track provides it. It bites back, doesn't it? It provided the entertainment, but you got to respect it.
We did say that. I mean you. You did say at the beginning of the race that this is definitely the sort of track that it will capitalize on anyone who tries to abuse the limits. And a load of people today tried their best to use as much of the track they could to try and make moves. And as we see, people like Ozza and all that just struggled like crazy. And I know they'll do their best to bounce back in Monza. But yeah, Belgium's been a very, very intense one for today.
Certainly has, but it's been a privilege as always. May not have been obviously good battling wise and cleanliness wise, and obviously the problem at the start with the restart, but it definitely provided the drama. They definitely did not lose that. But we have two more races of Belgium to watch, and if the first two races are anything to go by, boy oh boy oh boy. It is F4 division tomorrow, where Primus and the new championship leader Primus, I noticed actually, after last week. So he'll be taken to the track to defend his lead. Obviously, he's got the very fast Mr. T to keep behind, because he's the man in form at the moment. You got others like Tomo and Rebster and McCracken and Alka Saints will be all taken to this track. This what's the word? Ominous? Ominous?
Let's say that, yeah.
Yeah. Ominous. So, obviously, if you want to see the action that they will provide, because they always do, then join us on the stream for Tier 4, and that will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. start, and that will be provided by RSF1 Shane and Element Snow of the combination in the combox. So, yeah, definitely watch that. And then the F3 race on the Thursday. Make sure you watch that. That'll be the same time, 8 o'clock on Thursday night. And then, of course, we will head to Monza on this weekend on Sunday for the F2 division. So, yeah, still plenty of races to follow and to watch. But from everyone here, thank you to the podium, to Mr. Pigeon in third place, to Unity in second, and Dyslexic, our race winner for tonight. And thank you very much, Primus, for your company.
You're welcome. It was good to be working with you again, Brundle. And yeah, maybe working again another time, which I'll be looking forward to.
Yes, we will look forward. I'll look forward to that as well. So, from everyone here, thank you very much for watching. We spiked at 42 viewers at one point, I think, if the counter was right. So thank you for your support and watching once again, and we will see you next time. F4 tomorrow with F3 on Thursday.